Hello, good afternoon. Today is Monday, 21st September. Venezuelans to join now. Why am I making this video in English? Very simple. 95 approx% of world merchant fleet, it has the English language. Therefore, for security and environment reasons, so international safety management code, and so we must have one language. Imagine Venezolanos that, well, baby falling overboard, and we don't understand this. So a baby has fallen, and I must jump. And if I don't understand, then baby is gone. So the language is very, very, very important. If there is a fire, now if there's a fire in the engine room, department, so and so and so, then I must know, understand. And it's very important, the language. If I can cut the fire fast, because I understood and I took the measures and I reported and everybody understood me, then we are alive. We can make a nice video and smile and celebrate. Yes, have some dance. Yes, but if we don't, then end of game. So the language is so important. Venezuelans. Therefore, it is important that we speak in one language. That's why I made previous videos of Españoles, embarcar, and Peruanos, and Hondureños. But from now on, I'm going to make only in English because it is the maritime language. And for safety, it is a must. This is business, okay? So in business, it is a different matter. The core safety of our ships, our people, is very important. It's utmost. So we cannot negotiate. Now, what is the possibility about seafaring jobs today? We are seeing that there is a huge local tendency. Now, obviously, we cannot put, say, multinational cruise, international cruise flights, PCRs. It's becoming very problematic. Maritime industry is an industry that will continue until the seas dry, and therefore until infinity. So if we are an investor or we also are seafarers, we work in industry that has future, and maritime industry until seas dry, perhaps we can realize that this is the case. Well, some live in far away, but 90% of the goods worldwide go by sea today. And Venezuela has a strategic situation, geographical. It is situated in the North America, South America, and also in the Caribbean, which has links to Panama very close by. So this strategic crew supply could provide, say, about 1.5 million seafarers, average, let's say, $20,000. So we are talking about 30 billion a year, which also is a very democratic, like the virus, very democratic income to the country per year, because it is spread in 3 million families. So we have 1.5 on board, 1.5 ashore, and then supporting these 30 billion, these 3 million families. And this is approximately, it is a very hero job, heroes Yes, because I don't know if Bolivar, who was Basque, like I am Basque. So Bolivar got independence from Venezuela to Colombia, and then Bolivar and many more countries, very famous Basque independentist. Well, I believe that the independence of a country it is obtained by hard work, but not in war. It is obtained by bringing income to your country. So if Venezuelan seafarers bring $30 billion per year, provide work to 3 million families, these are heroes. It's not one Bolivar, it's all Venezuela. And so that is better to have 3 million peaceful heroes than one brave hero making war because wars cost money and if Venezuelans are intelligent and they want to maintain the so hardly gotten independence, then they must invest in bringing value and sharing with the other 3 million families for infinity because shipping does not have shipping business does not have a limited business cycle. So if we have a brand, Coca-Cola, for example, it has 100 years life. But if we have another brand, for example, Amazon, how long will Amazon live? Well, it has 25 years old, so will it arrive to 100? I don't know, but the question is that shipping will be infinity. I made videos as the intrinsic value of the ocean's waves and ocean wave. So is infinity. And so when the world ends, then we know. But we don't want to know because we assume maritime jobs will go for infinity. So Venezuelan officers are heroes. Yes, we don't need one only. We need all Venezuela to understand that bringing $30 billion to the country spread 3 million. You must respect these people. You must not have any problems with these people. These crew and officers are heroes. You police must respect the doctors, give them priority for the PCR test, the certificates, the maritime schools. Everybody must have priority with crew and officers because they are heroes. Well, I hope you understood today what we can do to improve this then. Now, next step is first of all is acknowledgement of the Venezuela strategic maritime sector. This idea I provided in my books, IDIKY question mark M and 1, 2, 3, already you can see them. And these are books that are only $1 or yes, I think now they are in open in our social media and you can get them for free. So one of the ideas was to have the strategic maritime sectors. One of them is the seafarers and officers, but the training scheme of the East European, of the Asian, and even the North European is very good. Ratings can go all the way up to officers because it is very hard to get an officer or a crew that did not get this for breakfast when they were below 22. If the education system brings above 22 um, humans to the maritime sector, a statistical 95% of them will not continue work at sea because they did not get it for breakfast. This maritime community is very hard. We have to be on board long times per year. Nowadays, we can have contact with Wi-Fi and this video camera, and but still, it is hard. A lot of people are not used to that. We, for example, in the summer, in the Christmas, in the Easter, in the Ramadan, in the uh, fiestas that everybody has, we work same or even more. And sure, people are not used to us. We are of a different. And of course, crew and officers are of a different. But every monthly, we send money to our families. If there is a crisis like coronavirus, if there is this crisis, if there is that other crisis, if there is these micro problems, we continue. And well, we never complain. We have this way that the system operates. Anyway, so the heroes of Venezuela are Venezuelan crew and officers. They bring each of them $20,000 approx, which is around 30 billion if it was 1.5 million seafarers, 1.5 at home, so 3 million families, which is quite a big number. It's a very strategic place, Venezuela. So in the Caribbean and North South America, also very close to Europe, which is one of the closest countries in America to Europe. Then also has the right population, right maritime schools, and these are heroes. I think it's worthwhile thinking that it is not 1 year, 3 billion. It is 100 years. It is 300 billion. So it's a big amount of money. And also then this crew and officers are always very well accepted ashore because we don't have this time. No, we have a job to do, and if the job is done, then we leave. If not, not. I don't understand the people that are saying, "Oh, it's 5:30, Jose." So what? What were you supposed to do? Did you get it done? No. So you're going now. Say goodbye, but please do never ever come back. So then this is the different mentality that we have. Yes, it is like this. And so the training schools have to change. The basic training now we have in novicontest.lv in Latvia, it's 400 euros 4 days to get the basic training. In other countries, it is 1,700. You can take a lot of opportunities because if you look at the Spanish maritime training system, it is the most inefficient in the world because Spain did discover America because it was closer, and also it went around the world the first ones, Elcano, another Basque, because some say it was in the middle. Well, anyway, could be many reasons, but if the ratings go to officers' system of training, if the schools then get a lot of students and the courses are reduced, I have explained also in other videos what other measures we can do. Like for example, this is why I am making this video in English, pardon, but you have to learn English. It is safety, your safety, my safety, because of language. And it is environment, pollution, safety is first. So the language has to be English. Sorry, this is it. If you do not understand this video, then you have to learn in more videos of me. Perhaps you can understand my language, and I will try to explain and vocalize and move my hands. So it is always maritime words, and there is plenty maritime YouTube and other ways. You don't need to go to school to do nothing like that. If you are young, then try to teach yourself. If you are parents, then try to teach your kids to watch videos or films. In the maritime industry, English is a must, and on board ships, most of all. And we always need people ashore that have this feeling of maritime, because first thing is to get the job done. So this is why now it's so important for Venezuela to understand that a lot of countries are doing very, 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 very bad things like Spain. They are paying unemployment benefits, and we don't have 3 million seafarers. The systems of training have not changed. The cost, the bureaucracy, the different uh, training, unemployment, young payments, grants, benefits, all this is really a mess. It's just they don't know what to do with it. I mean, you cannot go to one meeting with them because it's just like a waste of time, but for everybody around there. So it's better just to run to the mountain. So in Venezuela, there is a huge potential. And I insist that this is not the way that Bolivar did. This is not the way that in the past it was done. With coronavirus, we have learned that we have to adapt to this digital way, and that we have to express to the new generations that seafaring is a very nice, respectable career. If you ask me, seafarers are heroes. I love to work with them because, with no complaints, they always bring money to your country. Well, perhaps not so much we bring to our country, but you, me, if we go up to 1.5 million people, it is 30 billion. Okay, so yes, it is a lot of money, and this is a trend that will continue. We must make numbers up and down. So, and that the industry, like for example, the good countries that have invested very well into maritime industry is India. India is also a appendix, geographical, economical, is in the middle of Asia, and therefore it can benefit because it has a very big coast. Venezuela also has a very big coast. And in this strategic definition of, say, maritime schools, for example, one of the areas that we need is electricians. We don't have electricians. We are paying $5,000, $4,000 for electrician per month on board. Well, perhaps there is another area that people don't really think so much about investment in your career, and is tax. So all the seafarers have tax-free situation. Estonia has declared tax-free 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. I made a video about tax and law. This is the tendency. It is strategical logistics and maritime. Very clear. In coronavirus, we must. Yes. So in coronavirus, I must wear a mask. So therefore, it is very important everybody gets a mask. So how do masks arrive? It's by sea. So are seafarers? Yes, seafarers are heroes. They bring you this. They bring you this, so you can write your ideas, make improvement, and make numbers. 1.5 seafarers times $20,000 is 30 billion. Sorry, before I think I said 300 now. Is 30 times 100 is 3 trillion. So you think about it, please. So it is really important that you think about it and you calculate, please, Venezuela, how much you, hero, bring to your country. It's not one person making war for independency or no. It is 3 million, all working together, all in silence, bringing money to Venezuela. New generation, new generation, new generation, new generation, like Captain Antonio Candina. Now, when he was 14 years old, he wrote in Plencia, I want to be a maritime officer. So since then, it is already almost 125 years. So you can imagine how much income he generated. 9 kids, 4 died, 5 or 3 died, 5 grew, were doctors, doctor, business, business. Yeah, for 100 years. Multiply how much is that for Venezuela? This is the kind of liberty, independence we must provide. And yes, I think it's enough time, this Venezuela video. I will make another one about Cuba later. And so I hope you like, subscribe, and you join maritime schools because we don't have enough seafarers. And traditionally, there is a lot of countries that have disadvantages. I told Spain because bureaucracy is just not possible to do a thing here. I mentioned the Philippines because the government takes 20% of the money. Also, obliged to transfer all the money to Philippines. I mentioned in the future video of Cuba because I pay Cuba in the enlistment contract, I pay them dollars and then the government gives them another currency. And that's not really legal. The money that seafarers get paid should be into the allottee's pocket, and this is how it should work. And there is a lot of countries that it is because the citizens of the countries are getting older. There are other situations because geographically they don't have the advantage, and there is huge amounts of advantage and disadvantage in Africa. Also, the governments take money away from all the dollar transfers you make. So if you think about one job of hero Venezuela seafarer bringing $20,000, indirect jobs is time 10. So when Nissan was going to close in Barcelona, they said one job, it generated 10 indirect jobs. So suddenly everybody started thinking, you see, with coronavirus, people start to think, yes, well, some. And the question is that then opposite, not the negative, but you go, the positive is you bring one seafarer, it generates 10 more. So if one seafarer brings $20,000, then 11 is $220,000. So this is the life of this utility investment. Also, this goes for 11 families because this seafarer brings, they buy bread, school, books, petrol, house, service, car, whatever expenses, electricity, all the expenses you want. Perhaps they go to restaurant, food, local products, fruits, meat, vegetables, everything you can imagine that then this money goes to another and another and another. So the indirect collateral income, intrinsic value generated, it's one job, 10 indirect. So please, government of Venezuela, think about this. It's very important. Okay, and then if you multiply times 100 years and you have a strategic position in, say, center of America, it is very important. I am not going to enter now into political. No, what I'm saying is that the heroes are seafarers and they should be aside of political. We must have one training system for all of them now that people are starting to think. And we must do it yesterday, day one, with obsession. Yes, because humans have the right of being seafarers. It's the best profession in the world. Perhaps it's not the best paid, perhaps it is not the best regarded, but I don't know if you like this profession. Well, I do love this profession. And as you have seen now in coronavirus, it is really the last of the ants. If you see and how they work, the ants, then the workers are always transporting things. I believe if there is a problem in the colony, the transporters are the last ones to stop. So I like this idea that perhaps I don't have so big earnings, but I am surrounded by workers that are seafarers and will be the last because our job is essential. And I hope Venezuela government declares this strategic essential because it's not going to be for 100 years. It is going to be for many more years. And the independency is to get it, then it is to maintain it, and then it is to improve it. Thank you very much, venezolanos. Muchísimas gracias. Un abrazo.